Thank you guys. Thank you. Sorry, I had the mic off. As you guys could see, the background's different. Hey, Luca. Hey, Joshua. Hey, Reaper. Hey, Zarab. So, if you guys can hear me now, let me know. Okay. Yeah, I had the mic off. I'm glad you guys said something. Um, Basically, we are in a temporary setup downstairs right now. Once the rest of the furniture and my desk get over here, will be upstairs with the normal setup. So that's why you guys can see like this the shade behind me, but gonna try to get a little bit cleaner of a setup um, by the start of next week. So hopefully it's not too bad right now. Hopefully there's not a glare or anything. But we've got some time before the um, our trading hours start. So how have you guys been? How I've been checking the chat some. Looks like you guys have been doing pretty good trading. Luca, it was a mission to move everything. You don't realize like all the unnecessary stuff you have until you until you move. Hey Pez. Hey guys. Guys, let's just really quick. We've got some time. Let's jump over to the word really quick. Let's honestly like this kind of just off the top of my head, but I want to do it with you guys. Just read over in Deuteronomy 28, the one thing we talked about last time. We're just gonna just read through a part at the end here. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna read the last two verses here, just to kind of start the day off. And it says, "And the Lord will make you the head and not the tail, and you shall only go up and not down, if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, being careful to do them. And if you do not turn aside from any of the words that I command you today, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them." So, guys, there's a few different things in here that we can unpack, but basically, like, just to kind of get our day started, it's super important to not just read God's word, but try to follow it and apply it in our life. Because a lot of the problems we're having is we're doing stuff that we know we shouldn't be doing, right? Or we're probably not doing everything we know we should be doing. And so a lot of the problems we have in life, especially in my life, because I'm not coming from a place of when it comes to trading or when it comes to me sharing scripture with you guys, I'm always only coming from a place of like on the journey, struggling with you guys, and we're trying to get there. But one thing I've learned is it's not just enough to know the scriptures, but you have to like apply them. And so every time I get out of reading the scriptures, I have a harder time applying them. And so I do believe that getting in them consistently, it helps give you power to even follow them. But like I could have read the whole Bible, and then if I stop getting in it and I stop staying in the Word, if you get out of the vine, right, you stop bearing fruit. So honestly, I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I haven't been in the Word as much recently with the move and everything, and I've been all over the place, right? So I kind of honestly even needed a break from trading yesterday. Kind of glad we got that, but we're back today. So thanks, Arab. 5%, you're killing it. We need 5% weeks every week. Be rich quick. Not quick, but in like a year or two. That'd be great. 5% weeks. So, guys, price on AUD USD has been at this all-time high. Or not all-time high, I keep saying that. It's like at a more significant high, right? And now price is consolidating in like the last 4 days. Could price start coming down? I don't know. Today is bullish overall right now. You guys can see the most recent point taken out was right there. We don't have any buy side liquidity until way up there. Price did react pretty strongly there. I think this candle could easily flip bearish today. I think it could easily flip bearish and come here. I think we got some news at 10. Let me double check. But I think it could clear these lows right here today, and the candle could flip bullish. If we're looking at the daily time frame, you guys can see this candle wicked pretty high outside of that consolidating range, and I think price could flip now that liquidity to the upside's been taken, right? So it's accumulated, it's manipulated, and now I think we could see the distribution to the downside, which is kind of what is happening here already, but I think even on the higher time frame it can distribute even more so. So we'll kind of see what that looks like. We're going to draw on our lines here in a minute. Forex Factory. 10 a.m. pending home sales. Supposed to be weaker for the dollar the way it's forecasted. So if it's weaker for the dollar, that could drive AU prices up, but if it comes out other than expected, I think we can continue to see price distributing to the downside. And let me just check the other economic calendar to make sure there's nothing that's gonna come out that we don't know about. I think we just gotta pay attention to 10 a.m. right now. Nice, Joshua. 147, that's insane. That's an insane return. It's 47%. That's awesome. Okay. This is kind of the low of the day. We could see price react off of there. If price wants to go even lower, I would say that's a pretty interesting point of interest down here. Just before yesterday's end, right? You can even see the fair value gap right there when price displaced and shifted to the upside. And then we're going to kind of just mark this up right here. If price does want to come upwards internally, it could go off of there, off of this demand right here. So we could see a flip, especially after these 2 points getting cleared, right? So this point and this point got cleared. And if price were to flip and tap down into here, we could see the candle push stronger. Like we've noticed, guys, the volume until like price really starts to run to the downside, it's gonna be 9 times out of 10 safer to buy this asset than to sell it right now. Even though it looks like it's at a point of reversal, there's this one saying, you wanna sell high and buy low, but a lot of people try to do that and they end up getting burnt. There's another saying from Market Wizards that says you want to buy high and sell low, basically meaning like if people think that price can't go any further, it likely can, but that's to say that price has been extremely bullish, and everyone's like, oh, it's just wicking out the top here. It's accumulated and manipulate. Like, it doesn't have to do anything, right? And so the strength is 100% on the side of buyers, right? Like, huge rejection down here, and then just after that rejection, nothing but massive bull candles to the upside. And now even going higher, even though it's only wicked higher, it's still gone higher and printed price higher than that high last time where price dropped off from. And so that's where people get caught a lot of the times. They're like, oh, it can't go any higher. Well, it could go however high it wants, right? Yeah, maybe it was from his book. It was either from his book, Luca, or it was from Market Wizards. It could have been in both, honestly. I think a stock trader said it in Market Wizards, so I think it probably is definitely in both. Yeah, if you guys look at, we've got time, 2.5 minutes. If you guys look at yesterday, I was looking back in time at like what the setup could have been, and it's like, I think, yeah, we would have lost the trade, or I would have lost the trade, because I would have shorted right here yesterday, and then ultimately it would have been a small loss because we would have scaled our stop loss down to that candle. That trade would have lost, and then the second trade, or if this first trade didn't present itself, the second one actually was a clean setup because this would have been another entry, and then it ended up going like a insane amount, right? So, or high risk to reward. So yesterday was like 2 setups presented themselves, but the first one, the second setup kind of caused the first setup to lose. Um, we got a minute and a half. Let's look at the journal. How much are we up? Since we started the stream and doing SDL trading, we are up from 9,382, and then this is day 26 of streaming, or probably day 25 or something. We're up to 10,484. So on this account, doing supply and demand lines like the way we have been, we're up like maybe 11-12% total. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're as you could see in these last few trading days here, we're pretty break even. We're trying to push up again, right? But ultimately, we got 50 seconds here. I'll share it really quick. Our high watermark though is 10,900. So we're down about $400 from our high watermark right now, which isn't that bad. We could get that back in 2 trades, but we've just been patient. We've been really just, the markets have been kind of like weird lately, especially when it comes to the supply and demand lines. You know, we like to see them hit more often than not, and right now they're hitting at like 50%, right? We win one, lose one. And it's just like we need to keep the losses smaller, because Friday we took a decent loss. But at the same time, we can't be upset because we followed our execution, and ultimately it was a good trade. Alright, we've got 5 seconds here, guys. An orange folder news is coming out, so I don't know what price is going to do, but we've got some lines drawn on. We can see where price is reacting. Let's look at the actual folder too. Oh, it came out weak for the dollar, guys. A lot weaker for the dollar than expected. So if it came out weaker for the dollar, we could see price flow back up some. Who knows though? I'm just gonna be patient. Yeah, no, the best thing you can do is work a job and then build a schedule around your work and around your trading. Just focus on trying to take like 1 trade a day and getting through a week, and literally just take as much as you can outside of you know, what pays bills and stuff like that, and then put it into trading. That's what I've been doing since like a $500 account, and we've gotten up to this point. But I've never got a payout with a prop firm. I've been funded once, 50K, and made like $3,000 in one day on the 50K, and then lost it all. So I didn't end up getting a payout. But working a job and trying to build your capital is, I think, the best option. And just getting in the markets every day. Don't worry about like anything. Like the way you're gonna get better is through live trading. That is the only way you're gonna get better, right? If you're playing Call of Duty, you're not gonna get better from, you know, like, I hate to say that, like, honestly, like, if you guys are watching this channel, I want you guys to be trading like alongside, getting in the live markets, like a lot of you guys are. But if you guys don't trade and you just watch someone, it's not going to get you better. Same thing like Call of Duty, right? If you're playing a video game, the only, like, you can watch, you know, tutorials, you can watch, you know, people play. The only way you'll get better though is actually playing yourself. And so it's like what we're doing is we're like in a chat room, but we're all trading, you know, together. And so that's the goal, because just getting a community, that's going to help with your sustainability, right? And then ultimately, just get in the live markets and then work a job. Don't make trading like, don't try to like quit your job. I still work a job, right? You don't want to quit a job for trading until you absolutely can. But yeah, I said a lot there. Kind of tired. Late night last night moving. But long story short, just trade the money you can trade, and focus on getting real live experience in the market. Um, Guys, this is a nice flip here. Even though the news came out, it's an orange folder. It came out bullish for AU technically through dollar weakness. I just don't even see it reversing what price is doing right now, and we're getting a nice potential reaction to continue to the downside, and I think this candle is going to flip for the day. I like taking shorts here in a minute. I think we could get the low of the day cleared. I think we could see price go into here, and I see that we already got some nice price action, right? So I like shorts right here. I'm going to take shorts and make sure I'm logged in. Yeah, I am. So I'm gonna sell AUD/USD and potentially go lower into this blue zone. We're gonna trail candle to candle, but we're seeing a nice flip here, and a nice clean pullback into that supply and price pushing a little bit more. So we'll see if we can't get price to sell off some. And this 5-minute candle is closing bearish after the news coming out like that. Alright, I sold. Stop loss is going to be at 5 pips, 1 pip above that candle. And clear this off. We'll see if we can't get this daily candle to flip bearish for us, guys. Dang, Lemon, yeah, I've heard of stuff like that. The good news is you can day trade and be 18. Your broker's not gonna fire you. Yeah, listen, this is what you have to, if you're that young, like I'm 24, right? And I feel like I'm young and have a massive advantage. You have an insane advantage. If you can just make up in your mind that I don't care if it takes 10 years, I'm going to work a job and I'm going to trade and I'm going to get good at this and I'm going to just focus on executing day in and day out for the next 5 years, while working a job, you'll be straight. You'll see results so quick if you can just make up your mind that I'm going to take my time with this and I'm going to just show up, take one trade a day and let the results play out. The way that you will completely stunt though your growth is through trying to get it all quick. That's what I've wasted so much time trying to figure out how to get it all quick. The time is going to fly by anyway, right? 6 months is going to go by, a year is going to go by. This time is going to go by, and you could either be placing one trade a day and seeing, small, reasonable, good growth, or, I mean, it's not even small. Like, you could see numbers like 10, 12%. That compounds. But if you try to flip accounts, you try to double your account, you try to find a strategy that doesn't lose, something that doesn't exist, you're gonna waste so much time. I've wasted so much time trying to do those things. Yeah, listen, age is just a number. It's all life experience, right? I had to grow up quick. The fact that you're looking into the currency markets right now, that's a sign of maturity, right? I don't have a Discord. I have a Telegram though. The Telegram's in the video description. So yeah, definitely join, and we got a chat room in there too. Price is holding right there. I don't know if that's as strong. We got 2 minutes and then we'll move in our stop loss a little bit. You guys want to know what's crazy is we just got Wi-Fi. We just got Wi-Fi 2 minutes before this stream started. I was gonna try to do it off a hotspot. We literally just got Wi-Fi. This candle's pushing against us some. We'll see though. You guys can see the second entry potentially negating the first one, but I don't know. I don't know if if people buying here are right. And now you guys can see it's coming back under our supply. I really do like these shorts right now, but like I've said in the past, guys, the more you like a position, the worse it can be. But we're getting a rejection even more so. I don't think this candle's gonna flip bearish in 15 seconds. If it does though, we'll get ready to move our stop down some, but we've got 5 seconds. This candle's failure to go higher though, I think we could see price come down. I hope, right? This is technically, this candle right here is technically a buy signal, but it's really against momentum right now in volume. It would have to reverse what price is doing. I don't know if price can. We'll see. We're holding on for dear life at this point, guys. It's either faking out all the people trying to buy or it's really buying. But I mean, with this price action right now, what we're seeing, guys, I really like it coming down and clearing this low. You could see it's trying to, right? Like there's people definitely buying right here, trying to reverse this entire flow of price to the downside. I just don't see it happening, and I'll tell you why, guys. Like this daily candle with this wick right here, like it's literally like the manipulation of the daily accumulation. It's literally the manipulation of the daily accumulation. Like we could potentially, if we do get price to start falling for us, like we could see price really start to drop today from these highs. We really could. So it's I mean, price has fallen a lot already, but I don't see reason for price to stop right now, right? Because it's technically just fallen into the middle of this range, this daily range right here. The last 1, 2, 3, today's day 4, right? And then what time was that at? 8:30 today too, guys. We saw the spike down. Like I don't know. I see the daily range potentially being broken. I'll let you know on the Discord. I'm not gonna do it right now, but it's not something I'm opposed to. Gavin, I'm in Bonita now. I was in Naples. I'm in Bonita now. I just moved like 40 minutes away. But this is a temporary setup. It's like a little nook here. I'll close these blinds because it's a little bright. Like the sun will come in and cause a glare on the screen. But I'm gonna have my setup back. Hopefully by tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow we've got my setup back. Guys, this candle is hopefully gonna start pushing for us. You could see now the like these three candles have tried. They've tried to go higher, and they're failing to. We're basically looking for the daily to flip bearish. If it flips bearish, I mean, we could see price really start to come for these lows way over here. Like, I mean, today, like, if we could get it. $10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is such an important hour. I really believe that. I'd like to see it flip by 10:30. Dang, price is pulling against us now. Got about a pip and a half left of room. We'll see what happens. See what happens. That last candle almost pulled back under for us. Alright guys, volume's definitely starting to come into the market. You could see the way the candle's reacting. It's 10:15 right now. Yeah, where's Russ? Luca, where is he? He needs to get on the chart right now and start blowing on the screen. Luca, you remember that day when he got on and he like was talking about it, but he didn't give any context? I was so scared for the chat. I was like, Rustam, stop. You need to explain what you're talking about. Rustam's funny. He's probably been working hard. That's probably what he's been doing. So yeah, with these supply and demand lines, guys, it's like I look back at the charts all the time. My favorite thing about the Telegram that we've got is the ability to look back at the charts, right? I look back at these charts every day and I'm just like, okay, what went wrong? What could I do better? Or I just try to look at them too, not even to try to change anything, but just to see, okay, what's really going on. And so it's like the supply and demand lines, you can either get entries to continue price, right, like we got right now, or you could get entries to reverse price, and kind of change directions. And really, it's not like one's better than the other. It's just like you kind of have to feel it out for the day, right? Like what's going to be the better option for that day? Because sometimes price will just go and go and go, and you're not going to get any type of reversal. And then sometimes price, you might get an internal switch, and you might be able to change the whole direction of price. But it might look the exact same both days and do something completely different. So one thing too, Lemon, one piece of advice and knowledge I can give you is that the markets are completely different every single day. And so you're not going to be able to fit them into a box, right? Like you can design a set of rules to get into the markets, but the hard work, like the part that you have to accept is you are going to have to be the individual who can really feel out that market for the day, right? You've got an idea of how you want to enter, how you want to manage your trade. But whether you like it or not, there is a part of trading that you have to discern. You have to use like judgment, and you have to say, I want to take this trade here, and you have to click the button, right? And so you have to feel out the market every day. Like you saw how we did some analysis. We took a look at the daily. We took a look at, where price has gone overall since the trading day started. Like we had to set up just as much for buys here as sells, and honestly, I could argue both sides of it, right? But you have to be the person who can decide, I'm more inclined to take the sells today than the buys. Let me read the chat. So we got a minute and a half. Right, Luca? Yeah, no kidding. I'm saying that about your comment about Rustem. um, yeah, yeah, that's kind of what this is. I remember, yeah, Tom studies his charts. He like measures them, like with a ruler even. Like I'm exaggerating, but he gets them out and he like measures how far price went, how like how far price extended, stuff like that. It's crazy. Um, you could definitely tell the work shows. I'll read the chat again in a second. Um, we're gonna put stops 1 pip above this candle. Gonna shave off some risk. We're gonna let price keep falling though, 3.3 to 4.3. So we're taking off zero point 0.7 pips. I'm just gonna move it there now, because there's no reason not to. Um, so yeah, just 1 pip above this bearish candle. I like price still going lower, but we'll see. Um, price has only pushed like technically a pip for us at this point. It was only like 2 pips, 3 pips down here. We're not gonna choke out this trade. We're gonna trail it candle to candle like we came to do. Whatever happens, happens. But I like price falling right now. Um, no, I haven't studied Hinduism. No, I haven't. One thing I have studied, and I don't know if it was Hinduism or Buddhism that he was into, but Thomas Merton, he's a Christian. I'm a Christian as well, and he was a Trappist monk, and so he got into a lot of practices of meditation and stuff like that. And so, like I'm not sure like all the practices in like meditation when it comes to like Hinduism or Buddhism or anything like that. But I do know like a lot of the practices are on like emptying your mind, um, centering your mind on yourself, or like on letting go of the ego or whatnot. Um, and so he talked a lot about in some of his books on like contemplation, which is like the Christian form of, and it's biblically based, but it's like instead of emptying your mind, it's like emptying your mind so that God can fill it, right? Or instead of like letting go of ego, it's like letting go of the self, like the self, like dying to yourself, letting go of your flesh. And so like the practice of meditation, I've been a big advocate of, which is not honestly over here in America in the Western Church, the Western Christian Church. It's they don't talk about meditation a lot. Meditating is it's biblically based. I can't even talk today. It's in the scriptures, and I really do believe that meditation is the part of our prayer, our conversation with God, where we listen, right? I think prayer is talking, and I think meditation's listening. And whether you listen and you get nothing, and it's you sit in silence, I still think things are being communicated to you as you let go of all the noise, all the distraction, and you sit in silence with God. So I haven't studied in depth any other religion, honestly, except for like beliefs on like their core beliefs, right? Like I understand their core beliefs, but I haven't like gone in depth um, with any of them, right? Yeah, Luca, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the same thing I do. Yeah. I think the beautiful thing about Christianity is just um, you realize like it's not in you, right? Like the like if I had to hope in myself, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I mess up time and time again. I fall, I fail. Like I really do believe we're all jacked up, right? Like when it comes to sin, I don't believe that sin is just an action. I believe it's actually a nature above everything else, right? It's a nature that we're all that was passed down to all of us. And so I believe, you know, when you come on the path of um, like trying to become spiritually awake and you walk down the spiritual path, I really believe that you hit a brick wall and you come to the end of yourself. And I think that's where the path really begins, when you realize that you just can't achieve the things that you want to achieve and reach the place that you want to reach in your own strength. Um, so I think that's one of the beautiful things about Christianity too, is you come to the end of yourself, and then you find God, right? But the other, like some other religions, it's like you find God as yourself. And I'm telling you, like, unless I'm one with the Spirit of Christ, there's no divinity in me. So, but one with the Spirit of Christ is a completely different story, right? And that, the lemon, and that is coming to the end of yourself, right? You try, right? You try to stop doing the things that you don't want to do. Read Romans 7. We actually talked about it in the last, guys, side note, this candle is disgusting pushing against us like this. Um, we'll see. Price is just kind of choppy right now. We'll see if price keeps going up or not. We shaved off a little bit of risk. We shaved off a little bit of risk. So either way, it's a smaller loss than our initial loss, but we'll see if we can't get the short still. Um, let's look at the 15 really quick. Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. I do. I do see what you're saying. Might get stopped out here, guys. Might get stopped. We're gonna leave it though. Um, yeah, dang guys, we got taken out. It pushed for us a little bit, but not enough. And the trade the other way would have got stopped out too. It would have got stopped out the other way too. You guys can see one pip below here would have definitely got stopped. So the market's just chopped either way today. That kind of sucks. Okay, we'll do the journal in a minute, but the lemon. Um, yeah, man, it's a process. One thing that people don't tell you is like it's a process that you go on your entire life, right? And there's some things that God takes out of your life immediately, and some things He doesn't. And that's where the growth happens, right? Like you pray for strength, um, and the way God gives strength is through giving, by allowing us to go through these challenges and these temptations to be built up, to be stronger. And right, God's seen your life from beginning to end. So one thing I believe is like when you pray a true heartfelt prayer of repentance to God, it's not it's not like God forgives you now and then He didn't know your future and then your future comes up and it caught God off guard, right? So He knows from start to finish your entire life. So it's like God's not going to start a relationship with you and forgive you of your sins and then just be like, oh, well, I wish I never started that. He's messing up now 2 weeks later. Like, that's just not how it works. When we have the right idea and understanding of who God is, that's when we can really start to see change. It's not necessarily about your willpower or trying to, stop doing this or that. Like, that's only going to get you so far. That's what Paul talks about. Paul says that I think it's asceticism, or asceticism, which is basically the practice of willpower, denying your flesh. It has no power to kill the flesh, to kill the temptation, to kill the desires. So what does have the power? The grace of God, right? And so that's something that we can just get through prayer and keep trying, but ultimately our efforts aren't going to take us to that place we need to go. And once we finally realize that, like, I think that's probably part of the process is you keep messing up with this, and then you just finally come to the end where you're like, I've tried over and over again. God, I need your help. I need your help, because if you leave me to myself, I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over, and I'm going to keep messing up. And then that's when grace can step in and you can really start to see real change in your life. But it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. The righteous fall 7 times, but they get back up and they keep on going. And that's how you win, right? Like right now on this earth, you haven't necessarily been given a sinless nature. Your spirit, when you receive Jesus, is sinless, but ultimately, you still have flesh and spirit in you now. You've got two natures fighting, going to war. And so it's just trying each day to wage war on the side of the spirit, right? But let's do the journal, guys, and let's see where we're at. Honestly, that kind of hurt the account a little bit. We're slightly down even more now. Getting chopped up in the markets lately, guys. It's a loss. Let's see. Took one trade. Let's see. Why can't I pull up the charts over here? Why can't I drag the chart over? Okay. Yeah, guys. Price didn't give a clear. It didn't even give a winning trade either way today. So buys or sells both would have got our stops hit. Lost a little bit on this trade today. The markets have been rough for us last few weeks, so this is really a trying moment, right? We're just going to continue to keep our head up. We're going to continue to show up, and then hopefully the numbers play out, and we'll start to see the account increase again, right? Oh jeez. Okay. The market will really test your commitment and your resolve to be around long term. It really will. That's the thing. When it comes to a statistical edge in the market, like when it comes to having a strategy that's going to make money, you have to literally let the numbers play out, and that means sticking around when the numbers, when the losses come in the sample, right? Because any trading sample is a set of wins and losses, and so the losses could come back to back. You don't know like what order things are going to come in. So right now we're taking our losses, guys. Statistically speaking, then that means our wins should start coming back around, but in the meantime, we're taking a dip on the account. Yeah, Lemon. Yeah, keep chatting, brother. If you need anything, reach out and I can talk through things with you. I'm on the journey too. Like 100% get it. It's hard. It's a journey for sure. One thing I learned though is there's always grace to get back up, right? We wouldn't need grace if we were standing on a tall mountain all the time, right? If we were just on our high horse, always doing perfect and doing good, we wouldn't even need God, right? But we do need Him. And so we all have weaknesses, we all have vices, we all fall. But the problem isn't falling anymore, right? We're forgiven for our sins. The problem is, how long are we going to stay down? Are we going to get back up? I used to, mess up with whatever, and then I would stay down for like 2 weeks. Now it's like, okay, you try to make that time less and less. If you fall into sin, get back up in a week now. And then you fall into sin, start getting back up in a day. And then if you fall, try to turn that day around that same day. You know what I mean? It's a matter of just getting up and getting up quicker each time. Speaking of getting up, we need to get our account back up. We need we need definitely get that count back up. 10,313 guys, still up from where we started. So we're losing profits at this point. So we're not losing any of our initial balance, but we are dwindling away our profits. Guys, I will tell you from experience though, it's this dip like this isn't a problem. It's just if we blow up in the dip, right? So the hardest part right now is like, okay, we're losing, we're taking losses. That counts down from the high water mark. This is where we're going to be made or break. Like, this is going to make or break us, because if we, say, okay, what we're doing is not working, when we're clearly in profit still overall, and then we throw out the strategy, then we try something else, and then let's say we take $300 of losses on something else, and then it's like, okay, we try to come back to here when we could have won with supply and demand, then we end up taking a loss on supply and demand. Now we've tried two different strategies, we broke our rhythm. Let's say we're taking 2 trades a day. Now we're messed up even more. Let's say our account's down to 10,000, you know what I mean? Now we're in a place where it's like we just messed up in a serious way. And so, even though we're losing right now, it's a numbers game. Ultimately, our risk is less than our reward. You guys can see over time we're having larger wins than losses. Sometimes it's mixed, but overall our losses are usually around $150. And then, sometimes we've had bigger losses, sometimes we've had bigger wins, but we give ourselves more room on the winning side, right? So when it comes to pure probabilities and pure mathematics, we have a winning edge, because if we get in short here, 100 times, and then even a few times we get price to flow to the downside for us, and let's say even like 5% of those 100 trades give us really big winners, the numbers are just gonna constantly weigh in our favor, right? And if we could even be right half of the time, we're profitable. Like, let's see, we have a set of 26 trading days here, and we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? We're winning, 16 out of the last 26 trading days. I guess 15 out of the last 26, or 25, because we didn't trade yesterday. That's all you need, right? You just have to see steady growth like that, and not let the day to day get in your head. So I was switching. We're sticking with AUD USD right now. That is my favorite pair, and so it's also pretty clean with the supply and demand line. So I'm sticking with AUD USD right now, and then I will be just taking 1 trade a day on this pair. We had too much noise going on. We had a pretty bad week last week. We were down like 4%. This week we're only down like less than 1% right now. We need to get a win tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just trading AUD USD right now. Trying to stick with that pair. We'll see though. We'll have a larger sample towards the end of things to really measure what's working, what's not, and all of that. But I'm gonna sign off. The movers are about to be here with all the furniture, so I'm happy I was able to get on with you guys today. I needed this. We'll get the account back up. We're gonna stay disciplined and consistent, and then hopefully, now that I'm in a new environment, we get some clean setups, clean wins, and are able to grow the account again. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Lemon, thanks for chatting in. Like, absolutely love getting to talk to you about these things. And I hope to see you on the next streams. Thanks, Luca. Hopefully, by the end of the day, officially be completely moved and won't have to do all this, move all these little things around. So, see you, Joshua. See you guys. Thanks for joining. Love y'all.